Hello and welcome. So in this section we are going to learn how can we secure our Exchange Server 2016 by using anti malware feature that we have in our Exchange Server. So when you open up Exchange Server, you got protection option in here. In this protection option, you got malware filter, and then what you can do is you can simply configure in here. So the first question that you may ask is what is anti-malware? Anti-malware is any resource that protects computer and systems against malware, including viruses, spyware, and other harmful program which is going to harm your system. So most of the time, viruses and all those things, whenever they just infect a PC, like most of the employees or most of the users are non-educated, like they're not educated with the system, like they don't know well how to use computer, or they're not aware of like other people's like who are trying to send infected files. For example, if someone sends a file to one of your employees saying that please open this attachment because it contains very important information. If your users are not educated, so that is the job of information technology department to make sure that they know and they are aware of all those things, that if someone sends an email to you with an attachment and with an information and you don't know them, do not click on it. Like if they send a link to you that go to this website and register, put your information, all those kind of things. So most of the time when you open those links, it is going to infect the computer. It is going to send viruses to computer. So anti-malware is going to protect you from that. So how can you configure anti-malware? Right now there is one that is configured by default, but we want to create our own anti-malware policy, and we will name it defend from viruses. And then we will say when malware is detected in any attachment, for example, someone sends an exe file or any file that is unknown with unknown extension, what should be the action? The action should be delete the entire message, delete all attachment, and use default alert text. It is going to send alert, or you can create a custom alert, and then this is going to be custom alert text that will be replaced in text file, and that replaces all deleted attachment. You can create your custom alert and then just write anything that you want. So I will select delete all attachment and use default alert system, and then notify. Should we notify the sender or internal sender or external sender? So it is not always a good idea to notify external sender, because it is like the external sender is bad guys most of the time. So they notify internal sender is the best option, but still it depends on your policies and your company rules. You can just select in here. So you notify administrator about this message from internal sender, not from external, from internal. So you're notifying the administrator that the message was not delivered, and this is the error. So the message is blocked. Anything that you want to just send, and this is from internal sender. So they whenever the message got blocked from internal sender, it is going to send an email and say that my message is blocked or the message is blocked. If you select this, the message is going to be from external sender. So one thing that I did not notice in here, so this is going to be the email address for your administrator. So at unjotech.local. So this is not message. I'm so sorry. This is actually going to send a message from internal sender to the administrator that the message was not sent, and it will use the default alert text that we have in here. If you select custom, it will say send that custom um, text to it. So for external, I don't want to send any email to the administrator from external sender. But if you select, if the email is not delivered from external sender, it is going to notify the administrator. Create a customized notification text to be used in place of default notification. So for sender and administrator. So instead, the default alert text you can create your own. So from you can press name. From address, you can just put whatever things that you have in here. Message from internal sender and then message, message from external sender and then message. So this is for internal, this is for external, and this is going to be applied to specific user, specific group or domain. It all depends on you, like how do you want to do it. So if I say recipient domain and then I select elmgeotech.local, now this malware policy is going to be applied to this elmgeotech.local. If I select a group, it is going to be applied to groups only. And I can create an exception where I can say it should not be applied to a recipient invoice. So this malware policy is going to be applied to elmgeotech.local domain, like all objects inside this elmgeotech.local domain, and then it will not be applied to invoice mailbox that we have. So this is the malware configuration, which is quite simple, and it is always good to configure it to protect your systems from viruses. So I hope it is informative for you, and I'll see you next lecture.